Welcome to Empowering Single Mothers. I'm your host, Liza McHale, and I have my lovely new co-host that I want to introduce to you. Her name is Wendy Bluhm, all the way from Pacific Grove, California. She's also a single mom and has an amazing story that she wants to share. So, Wendy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Well, thank you so much. I'm super grateful to be here. And I'm a single mom. I have 3 children. They're 23, 16, and 11. And I am, again, just really excited about what we can do to inspire and connect single moms.
So Wendy and I connected in 2015 in, I want to say, Northern California at a personal development, specifically women's leadership seminar. And we have been friends ever since. We've seen one another multiple times, I think
Yep.
always in California.
Yeah, haven't made it to Canada.
Haven't made it to Canada yet. And given the current climate, we are opening our borders with some sort of protocol towards your Thanksgiving. So we'll see what that looks like. And well, you have other things going on that are pretty awesome. So we'll see when that will happen. However,
Yep.
we have been friends, almost like sisters,
Yeah.
for the last 5.5 years. And so we've seen our kids, her children are grown. We've known one another while they have hit different milestones. And I'm so very grateful that you have agreed to do the co-hosting role for this podcast. I mean, we have done so many things together, and as a single mom, I really admire how you have raised all 3 of your children, how you continue to step with them, how you continue to model to them, and how you constantly overcome anything that comes in front of you, and you're thriving. And so one of my things for empowering single mothers is to spread wellness, to let people know that being a single mom is not a burden. It is
Right.
what it is. And also to, like you said, connect people. Like we
Yeah.
know a lot of single mothers.
Yep.
And when this started, it was all about everyone knows a single mom. Everyone knows a single mom. If you weren't raised by one, I'm pretty sure you know one. And
Yep.
now that I am a single mom and have been for a while, I recognize so many of the challenges that can spiral in a downward position. And the overarching thing is, how are we going to empower ourselves? What's your
Yeah.
reason for saying, yes, I will be the co-host for this?
Well, I've been a single mom on and off for 23 years, and it's one of the things that I recognized is that by being open to the information, the support, guidance that's out there, a lot of times not given directly to you, you're just witnessing it, is what are the stepping stones that you get through those difficult times, or help you to thrive as you're going through something great. So that's why.
Well, I'm again so appreciative that we're here today, right now, doing this. One of the things that we both learned early on in our personal development journey, which we're going to frame a lot of our content around,
Mhm.
is the peace of mind square.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to do a brief overview of what those 4 sides look like. And I believe at the top, it's the spiritual. On the right side of the square would be, I believe, physical.
Mhm.
And then the bottom is the emotional piece. And then the left side of the square would be mental. And
Yeah.
Wendy, you just shared something with me really awesome about, why it's so important to have a peace of mind square as an anchor, if you will, for well-being and
Mhm.
and spreading wellness. So
Yeah.
do you want to share that?
Sure. So it was a real eye opener for me when you look at your life and how you're living it, kind of like driving a car, and the 4 sides of the peace of mind square are the 4 tires on your vehicle. And so if you aren't maintaining the air in those tires or maintaining the tires themselves, you're not going to go as efficiently or as fast as you could when you do take care of all four of them. So if you have one tire that's low, you might have some things that are, out of whack, and you might not be going as you want to. And if you have a flat tire, where are you going? Like, are you really going anywhere? Even if you think you have this car, you're not going anywhere because you have a flat tire. And then again, as I mentioned, for me, when you look at that, and you say, okay, I have a flat tire, who is it that I'm going to support? Or who am I going to for support with getting that flat tire where it needs to be? Is it something that I'm going to do all by myself? Is that how I'm going to show up? This is all me. I'm going to be the one that puts the jack under the car. I'm going to do it all. No one needs to help me. Or am I going to be like, hey, I need to call someone and they're going to come and they're going to do it all for me? Or is it going to be a combination effort? I'm going to call my girlfriend. I'm going to call this guy that I know, or whatever it may be. Who's going to help me to make sure that when I have a flat tire, I get that back to where it's supposed to be, so I can move forward and where I want to go, where I need to go, whatever it is. So that's that.
Thank you for sharing that, because, when you're looking at a square, it's really hard to apply. Like, you can conceptually get it, but when you're driving a car, you're right. If I blow a tire, I'm going to probably veer all the way into a ditch.
Right.
And one thing, I love how you touched on, am I going to do it all by myself?
That's what I feel single moms struggle with a lot, recognizing that they can do it all by themselves sometimes makes them feel like they have to do it all by themselves, or they feel like there's no one there for them. And, past experiences have taught them, I can't count on anyone, or when I do count on someone, then I owe them. There's a lot of stories people make up. And when you can get beyond those stories and really recognize, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. This is the support I see that I could use in getting it accomplished. And then just ask, be open to support.
A huge lesson for so many people. Like, the idea of even receiving support is tough enough.
So tough.
Asking for support is a whole other can of worms for people, especially if you've had bad experiences. And
Yeah.
yeah. And I also want to throw in one other thing. Yes, to mothers, but also fathers, like single
For
fathers
sure.
also. So I really want to just touch on that. There are going to be people that we're going to be interviewing. Like, I think we've agreed that we're going to do one episode with us and then one episode with a guest. So what is that going to look like? What is going to differentiate us from all of the other single mom kind of groups out there? And so we've got a lot of friends between the two of us, both in Canada and the US, on the East Coast, on the West Coast, and really everywhere. And that's why this particular group and or community I'm so excited. I'm so excited because connecting with the people that we know and giving them a platform for them to share their story, that it might support somebody else who's in a similar situation, that golden nugget for them to be able to go and have the best day ever and string a bunch of them, right?
Right. I love it.
Me too. So I think we've covered a lot of things. Let's talk a little bit about how we want our audience to engage with us before we jump off. I'd like to find out, if you're a single parent, what you're looking for. Do you have other people that you think we should interview outside of our circle, and for what purpose? What about you? Like, who are you hoping to reach out to, and the response that you're looking for? Or, because when people look at this, they're probably going to want to contribute in some way, shape, or form.
I definitely would love for us to have input, I guess is what I would say, from single moms that feel that they've made it through something. Whether they feel like they're where they want to be right now or not doesn't mean that they don't have something to give. So any anything that you've made it through is something that could potentially help another single mom or dad. So any story that can come up that is, even if it didn't feel exactly like a win and you made it through it, could still be beneficial. You know, I, my amazing love story, right? That is something that when I share that story, it is so hard for me, because even when I share it, I still have guilt over the choices I made and what came from it. However, if I don't share that story with someone, then they may be in a similar situation and feel like there's no way out. And I can't imagine having someone stuck in a position like I was in just because they didn't know there was another side.
In another personal development scenario, I learned about this thing called blind spots.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's, you know, you reminded me of another reason why, of one of my whys for this, is to give single mothers a platform to celebrate their wins.
Yeah.
Right? And in order to have a win, sometimes you kind of have had to have a loss, or be in a game where there's, where you're not sure. So yes, and I'm sure in a future episode we're going to hear about your love story. So in the interim, is there anything else that you want to cover before we sign off on our intro?
Just gratitude for you doing this, and including me, letting me be a part of the magic.
Oh my goodness. No, absolutely. I'm, again, so very appreciative for you and for everyone listening today. Thank you so very much. We're going to put in where you can reach us. There's going to be a card at the end and some information on the link below. And stay tuned. We'll be back next week and we will have a guest for you. I believe we're going to be talking about gratitude. So that was a great lead in. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good one.